spill the ashes. So let's ask, how do we exercise control over our reality? You know, and it's like, you know, somebody might be like, Ken, you can't tell me how to control my reality, nigga. I'm already doing it. But I'm saying let's become conscious of what exactly it is that we're doing. So there's a part of us, an aspect of our being, if you will, called the subconscious will. And this will is what we refer to as willpower and shit, right? It's real. It's basically, I'm gonna give an analogy to kind of try to explain it in a way that I understand it. The will is like a big ass strong motherfucker, right? He is really nothing he can't push or lift, and there's nobody faster than this motherfucker. Like, if it's on this course, it's gonna get it done. But it's the catch is it's blind. The big ass nigga, he blind. He can't see shit. You know what I'm saying? But put it like this: there's another aspect of your being that's called the intellect. And the intellect is feeble. It's scrawny. This shit ain't strong like the will. It ain't fast like the will and all that shit. Ain't putting in work like that. But the intellect can see. And the intellect sits on top of your life, in your case, the intellect sits atop the shoulders of the will. And the intellect can see shit. And because of what it can see, it makes note of shit. It makes note of shit. It records shit. And so your goal should be to get the intellect and the will to become best friends. Well, they got a vibe, they got chemistry, they got a harmonious relationship where, you know, the will is blind, right? So let's say that there's some shit over here that sounds like a party. But the intellect can see that, oh, that's not some shit. We should go over there. They got choppers over there. We're going to get killed. See what I'm saying? So instead of letting your, self be dominated by impulse, you start to be reasonable because of the intellect. You like, intellectually, I know that I shouldn't do this because of this. Or intellectually, this is probably what I should put the will to doing, because the will can pretty much do anything. The will want to do shit. The will alive as fuck. So it's like, what are you going to put your will towards? See what I'm saying? Intellectually. Once you start to rule your life by reason instead of just impulse, because impulsively your will will do whatever feels good. It don't matter whether it's a goddamn poisonous fucking Venus flytrap in the jungle. And the will is blind. So if it feel good, it's going to run up and want to, but you like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way with like how we eat shit. And like, that shit tastes good. So give me more of it. That's blind. That's blindness. You see what I'm saying? But intellectually, you know like, oh, this shit is made of this. I'm made of this. That's not helping me be conducive. Simple as that. And once you start to allow your intellect to guide your will, you can set your mind to some shit and get anything done. Once you get that will tamed. See what I'm saying? Once you don't let your will just run off. Even if the will be like, oh shit, party over there, and it want to go, you be like, wait. Because remember, we supposed to be working on the rise of the fly trap. What the fuck we going out there to spend money on that for? I thought we was trying to do this. I thought that was what was important. Yeah, let's do that. See what I'm saying? That's really the way that we're set up. Like, it's different aspects of our being. And I feel like all of it is just coming from what we desire. All of our reality comes from what you really want. Because this is the thing. I don't care if you was born a slave or a king. If you don't want to do something, like if I don't want to experience this, you don't have to. See what I'm saying? It's some things in life that if people just decided, oh, I don't give a fuck what else, but I tell you what, I'm not doing that. Or I don't give a fuck what else, but this is going to be so. This is going to be done. See what I'm saying? Or I ain't going for that. And if people just had the attitude and would lock in on whatever it is they desire. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you desire freedom, don't ever rule out freedom as a motherfucking possibility. How will you ever acquire freedom if you rule it out saying like, I can't do that. That's telling the will that the will can't do that shit. That's you intellectually telling the will, no, you can't go. But if you tell the will that the will can go beyond infinity, then the shit will. See what I'm saying? It knows no bounds. You see what I'm saying? We really just got to start gaining control over what we desire, instead of letting other people place suggestions in our mind about what we desire and letting them control our will, saying, hey, come over here. You know, I was about to say another company that be having commercials that got a little theme, you know, and they'll say it in a cute way at 2 a.m. you thought, but it's all suggestions to your subconscious mind. We should talk about what the subconscious mind is, since I'm about to digress, because I'm going to tell you about how our dreams, our desires, and our habits are what make up our reality. That is here. Like, we're living in the dream now. So all the worlds are superimposed. All the dimensions exist together in the same, what we consider to be space or whatever. But like, because all a dimension is it's an independent description of your location in space, of location across a plane, or, you know, just like axis, you know, like they taught us in school, 0, 6 and all this and that. That's all dimensions are descriptions of, you know. And anyways, what we're talking about is how your dreams, desires, and habits create reality, but we're just going to explain what the subconscious mind is first, right? So your subconscious mind is basically like the recorder and the regulator of all perceptions. Everything you experience, there's a mind, there's a part of you that's ageless, it's timeless, and it's been watching the whole thing. You can feel it. Everybody can. See what I'm saying? Because it's there. So, but there's a part of the mind, though. The mind is like, I don't want to say fragmented, but it's like I say, it's different aspects of being. That's the best way I can say it. And so, there's a conscious mind though, and that conscious mind is the one we're using now to whatever we're consciously aware of, meaning like I'm perceiving it through my faculties of perception, whether that be my ears, my eyes, what I'm smelling, what I taste at the moment. That's what I'm conscious of. It's just whatever it's usually about what the 5 physical senses are perceiving, or what information is coming in through those mediums of perception. That's what the mind is conscious of, the conscious mind. But there's a way to withdraw the fucking conscious mind from the physical world. You feel me? Like, you can stop focusing on what you're smelling, what you're feeling, what you're tasting, what you're hearing, what you're looking at, and start to focus on other shit. And you're like, what other shit? The shit within your own mind, the shit within your imagination, the deepest questions we ponder and stuff. You can sit there and have a dream, a daydream, while you wide awake. You could be seeing something that happened in the past with your eyes wide the fuck open, and be looking with these eyes, but be seeing with your mind's eye. And I know I pointed in my head when I say that, but I feel like a lot of what we do too in this field of science is confuse the brain with the mind. Because see, the brain and the mind ain't the same thing. It's really like the brain is the instrument that the mind works through. You see what I'm saying? But light is like a tool of consciousness, even though light itself is conscious. You see what I'm saying? Just like how we're alive and our body's moving and there's life coursing through it and shit. But all this is just responding to my thought impulses. It's responding to input. They can't pinpoint the origin of thoughts in the brain. They don't know where that shit's coming in at. Because that shit ain't at no specific. See what I'm saying? It's superimposed. It's every fucking way. Everything is consciousness. That's what motherfuckers don't get. We're immersed within consciousness. We're in the dream. It's a dream within a dream. You feel me? Like, niggas lost their old sciences, bro, because the ancestors knew all this shit, bro. And all I'm saying is, when you withdraw your conscious mind, when you can become conscious of what you were once unconscious of, when you can become aware of what your subconscious has to tell you about everything it's ever felt and ever experienced. There's a part of you that every little picture frame that you done experienced, you felt some way about, you were feeling at that moment. And based on how we felt about it, and that's what reality was created. Based on how we said this is, how we perceived it. Like, that was good, that was bad. We give shit meaning. It is meaningless without us. Otherwise, this shit is just this. But we are the ones that give shit meaning. We are the ones that give life to our dreams. We create, we choose which pictures get brought into reality and we experience, because they all already exist, my nigga. Creation's finished. You see what I'm saying? Ain't shit left to be created. It already all exists. What we gotta do is choose what to experience. You see what I'm saying? We're infinite beings. We know no bounds, no limitations. That's why nobody likes being bound. Nobody likes being limited. Nobody likes being told how little or how much or any of that shit. Because there's a part of us that intrinsically like, that's not my nature. All I'm saying is, we can pretty much manifest whatever reality. It can take whatever form you can imagine. If you can imagine it, it's real already. See what I'm saying? Simple as that. So basically, since we mentioned dimensions though, and I know we was just talking about the conscious mind, I've explained what the conscious mind is. The 5 sense rate, what it's aware of what the 5 senses are perceiving. The subconscious mind is let's mention this too before I go on to dimensions. The conscious mind is the aspect of your being, the aspect of your mind that guesses, it analyzes, it reasons, like I was talking about the intellect, it reasons, it assimilates new information, it mix it with this and make new connect. But the subconscious mind, I'm telling you, it's like blind. It just know what I felt. It perceived more information than you were conscious of at the time when you was perceiving it. When you was in that room, it was shit that you were not even consciously aware of, but that subconscious mind recorded all that shit. See what I'm saying? That's the mind that people try to tap into because all the information is there, you know? But yeah, I just had to mention that before I went on to break down this shit about dimensions, because this is a topic that a lot of motherfuckers be talking about, bro. And I know I'm just a nigga from the V, man. I ain't no world expert or no, got no notoriety like that, but I'm just kicking gang shit, bro. So put it like this. People talk about dimensions and all this shit and talking about we gotta get back to the 5th dimension and all this shit. Like the shit ain't all around us. See what I'm saying? Everybody be talking like it's some fucking physical destination we gotta go to or some shit. Or we gotta, like we, you know what I'm saying, we gotta ascend, we gotta achieve ascension. Yeah, what the fuck they saying is, we gotta become aware of ourselves again, my nigga. Ain't nothing wrong with the world we in right now. Everybody that wanna fucking leave this shit, that's neurosis. That was one of my earlier things. I'll tell you, I used to do the same thing. That's neurotic, to be trying to leave here like something's, like the present moment is marred by something. Like it's tainted. You know what I'm saying? No. What's true is all the dimensions are available to us right now in this moment, in this right here. See what I'm saying? What the 3rd dimension is, I'm about to break this shit down to you. What the 3rd dimension is this shit that they talk about, like my body. And all this shit that has length, width, and we could call it depth. You know, people call it height and shit, but I'm talking about length, width, and depth. Like how this fucking orange, you see what I'm saying? It's a 3-dimensional object, right? But the 3rd dimension is just that. It's each little fucking picture frame that each moment that it goes by, like, you know what I'm saying? Like each little frame that has depth and all this and that is the 3rd dimension. That's what it is. It's that fixed, stagnant mannequin chap. You feel me? It's just that. The 4th dimension is what gives life to 3D. We're moving through the 4th dimension now. You see what I'm saying? We exist in that shit now. We exist in all the dimensions simultaneously. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is will always be. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how to kick how, like, everything already is. Everything and nothing are the same thing. Math is showing you that, how 0 and infinity are twins of each other. All I'm saying is the fourth dimension is if you could picture your life like a book, right? See, this one about to fuck it up because I like to bring understanding to shit. I ain't trying to talk over nobody's head like all these dang gangsters. I'm talking to my fellow gangsters right now, spiritual disciples and shit. So put it like this: if you could picture your life based on what you chose to do, based on what reality you chose to manifest from the higher worlds that we already exist in now. We're existing in them now. Swear to God. But we choose to observe them, whichever we choose to observe them by virtue of our will, like how I was talking about. And so if you could picture your life like a little book, yes, I'm glad. You know, we stay with books around here. So if you could picture, this is Fire's book, by the way, The Power of Awareness by Neville. We ain't here to endorse nobody, except the game, you know, 229 Takeover and everybody coming up out of that. But like, put it like this. If you could picture your life like a motherfucking book, right, with each frame that I was talking about, each frame that goes by, each moment, if you will, is a little page. And if you could picture all the way from the time of your fucking conception to the time you leave from out this bitch is a book of different realities. You chose different 3D pages, because each page is this shit, a moment in this shit. But your fourth dimensional book would be like all of whatever the fuck you chose to observe, what happened. But the fifth dimension is basically like that probability space, where it's like, okay, the other books that could have been, see what I'm saying, combined together, like all the other books of different versions of you. If you chose to be a doctor in this one, you chose to be a rock star in this one, you chose to be a goddamn kick returner for the fucking Patriots, you chose to be, you see what I'm saying, or whatever, you chose to attach your face, and all the realities already exist and you can shift to them. You see what I'm saying? What they talk about is consciousness and being fifth dimensional. It's just being aware of yourself, being able to see that, being able to imagine more clearly, being able to think in HD.